Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name is Lucia and you can find me as Pearl of the Pacific on Ravelry and Instagram. Welcome to episode 64 of Knitted Paradise. Today is Sunday, March 1st. So, I hope you all had a good week. My week's been kind of off and on. I got a really bad cold this week, so I'm still a little bit stuffed up, so sorry about that. But it meant that I got some knitting done, which was kind of nice, and yeah, so I was homesick Thursday and Friday, and then yesterday I felt a little better, and today I'm feeling a little bit better over yesterday, but still not 100%, but that's alright. I've just been trying to rest a lot and knit a lot and play with a lot of Lego, as you will see later on. And the cat has been trying to play with my knitting. Pant, what have you done? No. Do you want to come say hi? That's what you want to do. You haven't been on the podcast in a while. Do you want to come say hi? This is Pantalaimon, my cat, who is not interested in being on here what bit. Hi, baby. Yeah. He's been all sorts of snuggly while I've been homesick, which has been nice. He's also very playful, even though he's 7. Are you 7? Are you 7 and a half? Yeah? What do you think? You want to go down? Okay. Here you go. Go over there. Yes, where were we? Let's start with blow the conch shell. We'll get into the fun stuff. Pan. Sorry about that. I left the mouse on the record button, and of course when the cat walks across the computer, what does he do? He clicks on things. Such is life. So where were we? Below the conch shell, we had the Fix It February knit along or fix along, and I pulled 2 winners, and I did them beforehand just because it saves time. So the winner of the stitch markers from Left Field Knits stitch markers was Hayes Mom 25, Jamie. So hi Jamie. Let me know when you see this, and I will send I already have all of your information, so I'll just send that along to Anne of Left Field Knits, and she will get in contact with you, or I don't know how, it's your choice, so you can go on her website and pick out which stitch markers you would like, and she will send them to you. So, thank you, Anne, for offering that generous prize, and congratulations to Jamie. And the winner of the copy of the Triple Swell hat, which Amelia has so kindly donated to the giveaway, or to the knit-along, is, I'm trying to pronounce your Ravelry name correctly. It's Ralphindy. It's Ralph and then NDI at the end. And it's Diana, who's from Anchorage, Alaska. So get in contact with me, I guess, and I'll let Amelia know that you've won, and so she can gift you that hat. I guess another announcement is that I released the... Pan, what are you doing? Cat is all up in my business today. Do you want to play with that? Alright, you can play with that. It's just a ball band. I released the Cowl Pattern this week, and so thank you to everyone who has said such kind things or bought the pattern. And I thought I would show you the other version that I knit. It's the same thing. I just knit it out of Malabrigo Rios instead of the Leading Men Fiber Arts that I designed it for. And this is just to test it out and see how it would look in another yarn. So that's what it looks like. This is the Indicida colorway. And you can kind of get a close-up of there's the Twisted Sand stitch pattern. So this is the same that's on the mitts. And then there's this transition section. Sorry, I'm trying to fold it. So there's a transition section here where they're both kind of in there. So you can see the Twisted Sand stitch goes up into the triple swell stitch, and then here you have a couple repeats of just the triple swell pattern, which is slightly different than it is on the hat. So if you've knit the hat, you'll notice it's just a little different, just the way they're placed. And this one actually I think turned out a little better just in terms of the beginning of the round. If you've knit the hat, I did this like transfer stitch forward and backward because the SSK and the knit two together cross over the beginning marker, and I found a way to do it by moving them just a little bit, that you don't have to do that. So I may rewrite the hat pattern so that it eliminates that issue that I originally had. So things you learn when working with your stitch pattern again. So this is the cowl that I designed to go with both of them, and I actually wore it today, and it's quite nice. It's very simple to wear. You just kind of put it on and go. I mean, you can like fluff it a little bit or, you know, pull it down if you want it a little bit more drapey. I think I talked about last time that there are options in the pattern for how to add more stitches or make it taller, so that you can, you know, knit it for what you would use it for. I like it kind of closer to my neck, and, you know, this is a good height if I just pull it on. It's not, for most of the time, I don't need it up over my face, but I can pull it up over my face, and I have pulled it up over my face when I need it to be that warm. But other than that, I just kind of, you know, flap it here, and that keeps me warm, and my coat goes here, and it's like, and then I just kind of fold it over and tuck it in. So, yeah. You can also use it to keep your hair out of your face when you come home, as I have left it like this before for a little bit when I came home one time, just because I'll wear my hair down underneath my hat, and then when I come home I'm just like, I don't want it in my face, and so I just pull this halfway over my head. It works quite well. I don't know if that's, I wouldn't really go out of the house with that look, just personally, because it's not really something I look good in, but you could. Could knit it short and make it a headband. I never thought of that. New strategy, headbands. No, I'm done. So that is the Waves on the Sand Cowl, and which is now out. So yes, enjoy. I don't know where to put things. I've got a lot of things here. So, and also I've been running a sale for the last 4 days in celebration of Yamiha, which I talked about last episode. And so thank you to everyone who bought patterns. It's been really exciting getting little notifications on my phone that people have bought my patterns. So that makes me really happy. You know, when you designed a pattern and you're really excited about it, you really just want other people to be excited about it and to want to knit it and want to, you know, buy your pattern. And I spent a lot of effort, you know, writing those patterns and, you know, making them look nice and making them as error-free as humanly possible. So if you have any problems with the pattern, feel free to contact me. I am working on, well, let me, there's one more thing and then I'll talk about that. I'm trying to do nice transitions. I was so good last time that, you know, gotta keep it up. So with all of those lovely funds that I received from people purchasing my patterns, I bought, so I guess we're going into From the Mainland. I bought the Pattern Writing for Designers book by Kate Atherley, which she just released, I guess in December, I think it was. And I've been reading through that. I just got it today, actually, and I've been reading my way through that. And it's really interesting and really helpful. I mean, some of the things I know just from knitting a lot of other people's patterns, and some of the things, you know, are really helpful. And some of the things you think are, you know, obvious. And she points out, she's like, no, you really should, you know, put this in your pattern. So after reading that, I'm thinking I may, you know, rework some of the things in my pattern. Like the pattern itself isn't going to change, but I may fix a few things or change some formatting or add some more information in terms of like yarn choices and, you know, needles and gauge and things like that. And just ways of wording things that hopefully will make things more clear. And so I'm going to work on those, you know, over the next month and hopefully release them soon. I also had a friend who agreed to help me with some photos, which was very generous of her. And so we're going to do a photo session sometime in March, and to hopefully get some more and some better photographs of some of the pieces. It's hard to do them outside when it's, 15 degrees and you don't really have a really fancy camera. Mostly it's me on my phone trying to take pictures and trying to explain to people, this is, it's not a picture of me, it's a picture of the hat and how, So I ended up putting actually together a Pinterest board of, pictures from Ravelry of patterns that I have knit or patterns that I haven't knit, but I think that the pictures are really well done. And so I'm learning and I'm growing, and hopefully in the future, I'm trying to be as professional and as helpful as possible, because I know people want to see patterns, and the pictures often sell the patterns. Like this sweater this is the Ease by Alicia Plummer, and in the picture it has this collar, and it's a very nice, you get the full shot of the sweater in the picture, and it has this collar, and in the pattern there's an option to not put the collar on. And if that had been the primary picture, I wouldn't probably have looked at it, just because I'm not like an open collar kind of person. It's not a style that I wear, and I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's not something that I find comfortable on me or flattering. And but because it had this, I don't even know what to call this, a cowl collar thing on it, that's what sold me on it. I really liked the cowl collar thing. It looked like, a hoodie without the hood, because I never wear the hoods. Very rarely do I wear the hoods, but I like the idea of having, a little bit more fabric up here that, covers my neck and keeps me warm. So that's really what sold me on it. But it, is one of the pictures. And so I'm learning as I go along. And I'm really excited to read more of that book. So I can't really talk about it because I read like 10 pages of it, but it's good so far. It's really good. All right, let's get to some knitting, some actual knitting. We have From the Mainland. From the Mainland. I just did that. Wow. I got my show notes in funky order, so that's all right. All right, on the island, I have a pair of socks that I have not yet picked a pattern for. They are out of Sweet Georgia Yarns. Oh gosh, did I put the ball band in here? Hold on a second. It's a nice brown color. And there's all sorts of things in this bag. Oh, here it is. Haha. I have some ball bands from some previous projects in here too. It's her Tough Love sock, and it's in the color Bison, as I drop the tag on the floor. And it's this lovely brown color. It's, the color of bison. It's a very aptly named color. And I've just done the toes. Ta-da! Complete with cat hair. Of course. The cat was playing with these earlier, so who knows what's on here. So ta-da! I've got toes. I started these last night while I was at a Niyamiha party, and I haven't picked a pattern for them yet. I was like, I'm just going to start them. They are for my best friend's college roommate, and my best friend wanted me to make his college roommate some socks. So that was the business casual socks I made. That was for his other one. And these are for his other college roommate. I think it was his college roommate. Maybe it was his college friend. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm just making them socks. So he doesn't quite know what size this friend's foot is, but I'm just doing my standard, dude stitch count around. But I know that he works in academia, so we went with the brown versus the blue. And but I don't know a stitch pattern yet. I was looking on my computer last night, and then the cat decided that he needed more attention than the computer did. So he decided to sit on my arms while I was trying to work. And which meant that I didn't search for patterns as long as I thought I was going to. But it's not, they're not urgent, so it didn't really matter. So eventually I'll have a pattern for those, but right now they're just nice brown toes. The other socks that I cast on today are the Static Zing socks by Megan Williams of the Stockinette Zombies. Ta-da! And I also just finished the toes, so I have 2 sets of toes. Ta-da! And this is Mad Color Fiber Arts it's their Doolally. It's their one of their fingering bases. This is my first time using Mad Color Fiber Arts. And the colorway is Doomsday Machine, which I got as part of the Mad Geek tour. I think that, yeah, Mad Geek tour, where no color has gone before. It's a Star Trek colorway, or Star Trek colorway and Star Trek Club. And I'm going to use Cascade Heritage in white as the other contrasting color. So I'm really excited. Let's see if you can see that. Those colors, those are pretty good. It's like 5:30 here. So the sun is kind of going down, but I have a little bit of daylight, so I'm taking advantage of it. So those, I just have the toes, and I went down a needle size because this yarn is really thin, and so is the Cascade Heritage. So this is a size 0. Normally I do my socks in size 1s. And so I'm going up a size, but I like the gauge that I'm getting on the size 0s in this yarn. So I'm glad I did that, but I'm going up like 4 stitches than I normally would for socks for me. So those I got started today, and that's it for On the Island. Not a whole lot. I finished some things. That's mainly what I did. So let's get into finished things. Set sail. I finished some mittens. I know you didn't see them on the needles because they didn't take very long. Ta-da! And these are Simple Autumn Mittens by Halldora J, and these are out of Bijou, Basin. Let me see that's the other ball band that's in this bag, along with the Sweet Georgia yarns. All right, it is Himalayan Trail, 75% yak down and 25% superfine merino, and it's the colorway Skye. And ta-da! So the other day I was on the train and I saw this woman with these beautiful mittens that look hand-knit. They might have been, or they might have been store-bought, but they were beautiful. And I was like, you know what? I really want mittens. Totally random, but I suddenly wanted mittens. So I had looked on Ravelry at some, I think I had already put these in my favorites. And so I was like, oh, I just favorited some mittens. What kind of yarn do they call for? Oh, sport weight. Perfect. I have sport weight that I didn't have plans for. I just really wanted to try their yarn. So I made them. Here, I can put them on to show you. And I did not get the gauge that was in the pattern. I didn't really actually check for gauge. I know, terrible. But they had you... It's a free pattern, so I feel like I'm not giving too much away. But you knit the ribbing, and then you do increases for the thumb every other row. And you're supposed to get to, I think it's 2 repeats of the lace plus 1 round 1. And that left me about here. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to split for the thumb there like you're telling me to. So I just kept knitting straight for the thumb, and ended up finishing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats of the lace before splitting for the thumb. And then I think in the pattern there was 6 repeats total of the lace. I ended up doing 9. And then my decreases I did every other row instead of every round. And so yeah, if I knit this pattern again, I would, first of all, I'd move the thumb. They had you do, like, it's directly in the middle of the front and the back, and I'd probably move it, you know, like maybe 2 stitches toward here, because I find that when I do this, it pulls the mitten kind of funky, and then it just kind of stays like that. You know, then I have to like fix it if I want it to look nice. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's still functional. But I would do that and then do these increases every other round. And when I looked back at the pattern, this is probably, I mean, this is totally user error. They had marked the, like on Ravelry, the yarn was marked as a sport, but in the pattern it was like sport DK. And I think that the yarn they originally used probably a lot closer to a DK than a sport, whereas this was definitely a sport. And the funny thing, like my my stitch gauge is fine. Like I cast on the same number of stitches and like it fits my hand just fine. It was a little tight before I blocked it, but once I blocked it, it's very nice. Anyway, my hand's getting really hot in here. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I've been wearing them the past couple days, and the yarn really softened up when I washed it. It's really grabby as a yarn, and so if you're looking for a grabby yarn, this is very grabby sport weight yarn. I know they have other yarns too, but I think the yak probably makes it really grabby. But the merino does add some softness to it. They are very soft. They're not scratchy at all. And yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. So that's me and my mittens. Ta-da! So those are the other thing that set sale was my sock design. I finished the prototype. I will show you the non-patterned side of the socks. So these I did out of Leading Men Fiber Art Show Stealer, which is their MCN base in Poseidon. And I did, you know, my standard rounded toe, bottom of the heel gusset. I wore them today because I was worried about them being too small for me. It turns out they're really not. Once they block, they were fine. But you can see the bottom of the heel gusset there, and then the gusset decreases here, and then usually I knit my leg to be the same length as my foot, and then do the ribbing, and that worked out well. So they were really comfortable, and I'm happy with how they turned out. So the pattern is written up and sent to test knitters, so that will be released probably by the end of March. And there is a stitch pattern on the other side, which I won't show you at the moment, but it looks really pretty. I'm really excited. So those I finished, and they fit me well, which was surprising because when I was trying them on when I was knitting them, I was a little concerned. I tend to, like 64 stitches is a pretty standard for, you know, women's feet between, you know, 54 or 58 and 64. And I tend to often do 66. So I do 32 on the top and 34 stitches on the bottom. And that tends to be good for me. And on those I did 32 and 32. And so they were just a little small. They're okay now that they're blocked, but I was concerned. But I realized that having those extra 2 stitches on the bottom really does make the difference. You think 2 stitches, you're like, oh, it's not very much, but it really is. And so, you know, find what works for you. That's a tip I have about sock knitting. You know, it is a sock pattern, but it can also be used as a sock recipe. I mean, it's my sock recipe. Like the 2 toes that I've done for the static Zing socks and for the unknown pattern socks are both the same as, you know, that pattern. So it's just kind of my standard toe that I do, standard heel that I do. And it's a combination of a lot of different sock patterns or sock heels that I've knit. So it's not any one pattern. Other than that, well, I'll talk more about that when I actually release the pattern. Let's talk about some Lego, because I finished some Lego. Yes, I did. As one of my Yamiha gifts, well, actually, I got Lego for all my Yamiha gifts from my husband. But the big one was the pet shop set, which I'll show you here. And it comes with this pet shop here, and then also comes with this apartment building here, or, you know, where it's got like 3 flats on different floors, and it's really cool. And there's actually a basement built into this, which I think is really awesome. And so I've built this part. This was bags 1 and 2, and then bags 3 and 4 is the actual pet shop, and I have not built that yet, but I plan on doing that probably tonight. So here it is. Ooh, I pulled off half of it. And the coolest thing about it is that it's one of the modular buildings, so it clicks into my Parisian restaurant. So you'll see in the side here, there are these black things that they have little Technic pieces in it that I can just click into the side of the building. So that's what I've done, and you know, I'm going to continue down the street of pretty buildings. So this is the apartment building from that set, and it's really cool. So that's the front, and I think the really cool part, these are skis right here in the I don't know, thing over the door. And also there's a post off, or a little mailbox. Let's see if I can open it from here. Oh, come on. Anyway, we'll get it open. There we go. There's a little mail in it. So that's really fun. And there's also like little flowers down here. And in the back, we have the lady who lives here. I have to stick things down or the cat will knock them everywhere, and then you'll never know where things are. So she just stood there. But there's a door down into the basement there. Ta-da! I know you can't see anything down there, but I just think it's cool there's a door. And I'll take the top off here, and you can see this is the first, oops, I just knocked the chimney off the roof. Stick that back on. But this is the first floor, and there's a bathroom under the stairs there. I can open the door. I don't know if you'll, oh, there you can kind of see the bathroom. So there's a bathroom there under the spiral staircase. There's also a trap door, ta-da, that goes down to the basement, which I think is really fun. And it's not super detailed. It's actually, the set is a few years old, but it's still pretty cool. And so that's level 1. And level 2, there's a guy in here painting. So there he is painting the wall. He's got his paint bucket and the little tray that you roll your paint in. Ta-da! So he's painting it white, which I think is really fun. And more spiral stairs, which I think are really cool. And they're actually, like, they're in there pretty solid, which is kind of funny considering that they're just like one piece, you know, here. But they devised a way to make them very solid where they're not going to move around, which I'm excited about. And see the roof. Oh, the roof does come off quite easily. This is the top floor, and they've got some boxes in there, so they're still moving in. I guess it's all one house. It's not really an apartment building. It's just a house. And there's a little stained glass window right here. Ta-da! And there's a garden on the porch, I guess you'd call it. I can only think of the Hawaiian word, which is lanai. In Hawaii, we call that a lanai. It's like it's spelled differently than the island lanai, or lanai is actually. So it with the apostrophe is lanai, which is the island, and then lanai without the apostrophe is a porch. There's your random Hawaiian fact for the day. So that's that. And they're also, I think my favorite thing about this one is these windows open and you can come. There's like a tiny little place where you can stand there. But I said that was really cool that they open. So that is that. And then there's just a very boring roof. Not very boring, but roof that goes on. Let's not destroy this whole thing in the process of trying to show it to you. Oops. I knocked a carrot down. Oh, I think that's a carrot. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Alright. Yeah, luckily the floors go together and come apart quite easily. Ta-da! So, that's my Lego house, or one of my Lego houses, the one that's actually built. And the other thing he got me was this, I guess they come in like little groups of 3 little guys. They're not really a set, but first came Boogly. This was Boogly! And I love things that glow in the dark. Last year he got me these, which are Lego lightsaber glow in the dark earrings, which are fantastic. And then this year his eyeball glows in the dark, which is really fun. But this is Boogly, who has all sorts of crazy teeth going on here and some antennae. And then we have Vampos, who is this little guy with very, very large teeth. His eyeballs also glow in the dark. And then today we had, what is your name? I don't remember your name. Anyway, this is another one from the set. And this part, his eye glows in the dark. So it's kind of fun. We have them in the bedroom and turn the lights off and it's like, hello! So it's kind of fun. And they've got these fun little wings. Wingdalings! And you can actually go online and get instructions on how to take the pieces from these 3 and put them all in together into a bigger, scarier dude. And then in one of them comes this like little citizen for it to terrorize, I guess. I don't really know the story behind them, but these are from the Mixels creation. So what is your name? Like Glowkey? No, Glowkeys is like this series. Because there's different series. There's like fire-breathing ones, and this is like the glow-in-the-dark things. I really like that they use these roof pieces as like eyebrows, basically. I mean, he's only got one eye, but he's got 2 eyebrows, which I think is really fun. Ta-da! And they all can like move their mouth and talk, which I think is really funny. So there's actually a lot of motion in these guys, which I think is really fun. Like if I was a kid, I would love playing with these because there's a lot of things, you know, you can move their wings and move their mouth and stuff. So these are really great. The Mixels are really great. And they're all kind of funny looking. You know, that's the fun thing about them. So that's what I have built in terms of Lego this week. I have a feeling the pet store will be very soonly built. And, yeah. I think that's it for what I have today. I don't really have much else. I have things that... Oh, I wanted to talk about one thing that was on the horizon. I think I talked about this before, that I did these mallet covers for my handbells. And my handbell instructor, or my handbell director, choir director, contacted me and asked if I would do handbell covers for her, not handbell covers, mallet covers for her professional group. So, because she had just ordered a new set of these mallets. And the difference is that these tiny mallets don't have anything on them. They're just the rubber. So when you hit them against the brass of the bell, it's a very tingy sound. And all of the ones for the bigger bells have yarn on them. Like they have a cover that's, like wrapped and very tightly done. But these come with nothing. And she's like, well, why do they come with nothing? I'm like, well, why don't I just knit something to go over it? So that's what I'm doing. So she gave me the whole, she just ordered a whole new set. So I have a whole set of these to cover in the next couple weeks. So these are all brand new. They're still in their bag. So yesterday I went through my project bags and kind of cleaned them out. Took out all the old stuff and reclaimed some needles and some bags and got things ready for my next batch. So they are all in my fat squirrel bag, and she wanted them in some dark blue, so I found some dark blue in my leftovers, and I'm going to use that, but I've got a whole, it's really hard for you to see them in there, but there's a whole bunch of them in here, so that's going to be fun. And that's really it, you guys. I hope you have a great week. I have one tip I wanted to have in the flora and fauna section that I've discovered recently. It's a pro tip for watching podcasts, because I know if you watch mine, you probably watch others. And recently, since podcasts a lot of them have been moving to YouTube as a platform, and I know a lot of us have been watching them on YouTube. And one thing I've discovered is in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little gear that if you hover over it, it'll say settings. If you click on it, it gives you options of I don't know what the other options are, but one of them is speed, or like playback speed. And you can change the speed that it plays the video back to you. So I've been watching podcasts at 1.5 speed, or sometimes even 2 times the speed. And it means that I'm not as behind on podcasts as I used to be, because if you watch them 1.5 speed, which you can still understand what they're saying, and if you want to, you can pause it and make it normal speed. You can also make it slower if you wanted that. But for those of us who watch a lot of podcasts and you don't always have a ton of time, then you can watch 3 podcasts in the time it would normally take you to watch 2 if you watch them at 1.5 speed. So this is my pro tip for watching podcasts for the week. I hope that helps. It only works on YouTube. I haven't found it on any other platform, but for the ones that are on YouTube that don't talk too fast, you can turn up the speed, and then you can just, you can still enjoy them. I still enjoy them. I still get through them. But then, I feel like I'm not constantly watching podcasts. Like during my sick days, I watch a lot of podcasts. I'm now all caught up because I watched so many. And so it's just something I've discovered that, if you're like, oh, I had 20 minutes, to knit on this thing between doing things. But this podcast is 40 minutes. Instead of just watching half of it, put it at 2 times speed and get through the whole thing. Just a tip. All right, with that, I will leave you. Have fun, and Boogly says goodbye. Bye-bye. Is that how you sound? No, I don't know how you sound. I haven't figured that out, but Boogly says bye as he waves. Bye, guys. See you next week.